Karaoke update from last night. I've had some chance to rest and reflect. So, this was Gallagher's Pub in Dublin, California. Cool name of a city. And I had fun. Overall, I had fun. It was a cool event, 5 hours, and got to sing a lot. So that's my summary, is I had fun. But if I examine where's my notes? Would I go back? Yeah, eventually. But if I lived here, would I go weekly? And that would be probably no. Just because, and it's hard because a friend of mine said, well, this is the Friday crowd, different than the Saturday. So maybe if I went on a Saturday, it could go tonight, but I probably won't. It would be different. And the things aren't, like I said, it's all fun overall, but what would I change if I could change things? I think at most of the evening there was about 40 people there and probably 10 to 12, maybe even 15 people singing. So the waits were pretty long. And you think, well, what is the ideal balance? Because if there's nobody singing, then you're up almost too often. It's like, well, I don't have that many songs I really want to sing. I want to rest my voice. I want to do other things. And I actually had that last time. There was almost nobody singing about 6 months ago or something. So there was actually plenty of time. I'm like, well, I already sang everything I planned on singing. So you want a good balance between being able to sing and not. So I would say the waits were probably 40 minutes maybe. Yeah, from what I sang, 40 minutes, which... yeah, that's kind of a long time. So the balance, and also the kind of the balance of how many people, what kind of bar is it? It's a dive bar pretty much, but it's are people there to sing, to just visit a dive bar? And sometimes if the karaoke is just kind of so much of an afterthought that it's just buried somewhere. On the other hand, it makes it more relaxing and casual. People could go to their seats with their microphone. Sometimes the DJ or KJ had no idea whether, it's where's the person with the mic? Did they leave? So it was interesting to see that. So they could take it to their seats or, go with friends and do stuff. So that part is, that's probably pretty good to have it casual. It's just, you kind of feel nobody's listening and again, there's a balance. If nobody's listening, then it's less stress and less, you have to obsess about that kind of stuff. So there was that. What else? The acoustics itself, they air way on the loud side. So, you could definitely hear it, especially loud singers. You could hear them everywhere, and the music. But if you were singing, it was sort of it wasn't so low that you couldn't hear the music. Because if you can't hear the music, then it's going to be hard to find the key, and then you're going to really be out there. So that was not the best monitoring in the world, but for me it worked. I could hear, okay, now I know my key. And for some people, you think, well, I don't think they heard their key. And the vibe as far as what were people singing, because you don't want to be the only person singing a classical thing or a musical theater if nobody's singing musical theater or stuff like that. You kind of want to read the room type thing. And it was an interesting room because there was probably about 7 death metal, extreme rock, that old Slipknot, those da 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 da, just kind of screaming and yelling. In fact, the DJ KJ several times said, hey, don't scream. But they did. And they were nice kids, really. They weren't evil kids. It was just that was their style and they liked it. I think they were in a band. So whenever one would go up, the other 3 would get mics and they'd all sing together. So you just had 4 people. You're pretty much at one of those metal concerts, it seemed like. But with 4 of them, at least in their band, you'd have them 4. You were getting so much of this death metal that it was kind of crazy. That was an interesting thing, but everyone's got their own style and what they like, and the KJ can't really say no, we're not doing that style anymore. But you have to kind of think people aren't going to come back if it's just too much of that. So I get that's a difficult issue. I don't know what you can really do about something like that, because they could say, hey, people are singing too much musical theater, I'm not coming back. So, but that wasn't a problem. That was kind of crazy. And some songs would start out kind of like, oh, okay, and then they would just get da 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 da, like, kind of what you expect if you know that kind of music. So there was a few like really, I mean, actually the death metals were talented singers. They really knew their style and could scream with the way they're supposed to. But there was a few other singers that were really good. They actually knew what they were doing, but they also picked such long songs. Like 7-8 minutes long. I'm like, oh man, it just like, and most songs aren't written with karaoke in mind. They're written with like the singer in mind. So songs aren't written specifically for karaoke. So when they try to convert them over, they just happen to be long, but they don't work well for karaoke because maybe the ending is repeated like 800 times. You're thinking, man, this ending just won't stop. And there's really just no point. Like you did your job and kind of entertained. The story's over, but just the last line and. Even some of the songs I like have that issue. It's like, dang, that kind of sucks. I always wish to say, okay, let's wrap it up, like a live band could do. There was a few singers that were, in karaoke, to preface, it's like, it doesn't have to be good to sing. Everyone should be able to sing. It's like you go there to kind of have fun. It's not about singing a great song. It's about just having beers and just getting silly. But also, there's some, it happened a lot with the female singers. They just picked extremely challenging songs that were way beyond their level at all. I mean, again, if you're not a singer, every song is beyond your level, but they were just picking like these really, really songs with these long notes. And if you're like atonal or in the wrong key or just having trouble with the modulation, these notes, they were hard to listen to. I mean, it's like, I don't want people to be self-conscious. You should always go in there saying, it doesn't matter, but just also consider when if you're not a singer to maybe not pick those songs. But it's hard because, you see the experts doing it, the professionals, and they make it look easy, and you think, oh, it's easy, or you can do what they do, just have confidence. And I do like confidence. They did have confidence, but it was bad. I had to leave several times. Like, I got to go outside. It's too tough. And people may say that about me too. I don't know, but hopefully it's not that bad. I will say this: if you are a musical or a vocal coach, get a hat. I mean, just wear a hat saying voice lessons and a phone number or a website or a t-shirt. Walk in there, sit down. Don't have to say anything to anyone. And it's not to make people feel self-conscious. It's just someone might think, man, I want to do better. Or they hear somebody else and think, man, I could probably use some lessons. And they go, oh, hey, do you do it? Yeah, I do. Yeah, come on. That's not me. I don't do vocal lessons. But if someone did, that's a business idea right there. You probably have like maybe 10 or 20 people that could probably use your help if they want to get better. And some people don't. They just want to drink beers or whatever. So it's like, if you're not a singer, then every song is tough. Yeah, but there's also songs that I think decades ago were written a lot more simpler. They were just simpler songs. Not to say like Lollipop. Okay, that's pretty simple, but I don't think anyone wants to sing that. But some of these, like Whitney Houston song or something that just is like, if you're not a singer, don't try that. That's tough. It's not going to go well. As far as other things, beer, I didn't spend any money on beer. Zero. Because, that's how bars make their money, like beer and spirits and maybe wine. I don't see anyone drinking wine there. But it was nice just having a Diet Coke, a refill, and it was like $2 in the end. $2 for 5 hours. And I gave like a $3 tip, so it was like $5. And I also tipped the KJ too. It was like $6 or something like that. So it wasn't like a free evening. But you save so much money when you don't drink. It's just, and that's, I'd say that's one of the reasons I kind of, I wasn't going broke with alcohol, but I also considered the waste it was, especially if you do like a couple glasses of wine a night. That's, that can be like, $75, $100 a month, because a bottle of wine, something drinkable, $15, $20. If you go like $3, you're probably, the days of $2 Chuck, I don't think are around you. I don't think they even sell it anymore for that price. But yeah, if you're constantly drinking, then, even financially. So I kind of liked the idea that I didn't have to spend, but again, 5 hours, that is a long time. And you do spend most of it listening or just having a conversation with people next to you. However, with that, it's just so loud at times, with the music being so loud, you couldn't have a conversation. So all you could do is listen to the music, whatever. So, and that was, it's good to be a good listener. But at that kind of atmosphere, people don't always want like your full attention. They just want to be able to sing, and you can enjoy it if you want, or just not. Anyway, well, yeah. So anytime I tried to talk to a friend, it was like, what? I can't. I had some ear damage anyway, so it's not like I have the hearing I had at 15. But I also realized that with the music being so loud, which is ironic because there's some singers I couldn't hear at all, and it's like you gotta, your mic is this far, you might as well get it closer because you gotta be able to. You might, you wanted to sing, you should be heard, I guess. Caveat to that. Okay, well, that's my review, and I would go again. It's just I wouldn't go weekly. I think, I don't think I'd enjoy it weekly, especially with 40 people and 15 singers. I suppose it's just a lot of waiting around. I would try to find opportunities where there are fewer singers or whatever. And sometimes it's good to have like almost nobody, so you can just kind of practice and have some fun. But I imagine that's not good for the bar. So. Fun time, Gallagher's Pub karaoke night in Dublin, California on a Friday night. That's it. Cheers.